German man assembles world's largest Lego sausage. Let me just have a closer look. Oops.
Giving Chick-fil-A another chance, but their texture has been disgusting. I took the first bite and I couldn't even get the chicken apart.
Oh my god.
Gross.
When you need a chainsaw to eat your burger, maybe stop buying fast food.
This is the sound emitted 24/7 from a 30 megawatt data center.
Data centers are becoming the new dystopian monuments of our time. That is just cruel, building it next to that guy's house. I'm pretty sure he's going to try and sell his house, but the only person that would buy that would be R2-D2. When our weird weather is leading to giant pythons cruising down the road, don't walk alongside it. Run away, sir.
Bro, WTF, did anyone catch the World Cup open ceremony? Was it me, or did it look like the United States underwater? And does this look like the 2020 to 2024 eclipse path that went over the United States? Am I bugging, or was something off about it? This is the angle that reminded me of that old Navy map of the United States underwater. This is just my opinion. It doesn't mean anything. Probably not related at all, but I just made a video on the Super El Nino that was just confirmed.
An opening ceremony with subliminal messages is pretty much expected these days. This El Nino weather system could make the Earth hotter than ever and cause chaos with our weather. But the football's on, so we'll worry about that later.
Jeff Bezos is hoping you'll rent your computer in the future instead of owning one. His vision is that you won't own a computer, you'll rent computing power from Amazon's cloud. That means he wants you to have only a screen, a keyboard, a mouse, and a monthly bill. And I bet you if he could charge you monthly to own the screen, keyboard, and mouse, he absolutely would. If you think about it, you already don't own a lot of things. Your music is all Spotify, your movies and shows, that's all Netflix. Both of those run on Amazon Web Services, by the way. So Jeff wants to make sure that you don't own your computer and that you'll pay monthly for the rest of your life. Cloud gaming is unfortunately growing. Xbox, Nvidia, and Amazon Luna are all pushing the same model. The thing that might actually make it happen is that AI is eating all the chips. RAM prices are spiking, SSD prices are spiking, companies are ending their consumer memory divisions to focus on data centers. Dell, Asus, and tons of other brands are hiking prices. Nation states are literally outbidding you for components to build AI infrastructure. So what happens when building a PC costs twice what it does today or even 3 times? You'll eventually be forced to subscribe to a computer, at least that's what Jeff Bezos and other billionaires are betting you will.
How much more power and control do these people need? Can someone remind Bezos that he used to be the guy that sold books? Can he get back to that?
Never forget that the CEO who runs ChatGPT said this. I am happy to say that I am convinced that the job destruction in the next couple of decades is going to be massive. Like, honestly, one of the things that I struggle with, like, getting out of the bed every morning is that, like, my job is to help people destroy jobs. Like, how are billions of people going to replace the meaning they got from work with whatever they're going to fill their time with? And I think this is the number one
crazy idea. What about you don't do it? Or at least slow down and plot potential problems before you turn us into an AI-controlled civilization. Just a thought.
If you ever did Ancestry.com or 23andMe, you're gonna want to listen to this. A whistleblower from the CIA claimed the CIA used DNA data from customers in search for aliens. This is gonna get really weird, so just stay with me. These claims are coming from Lynn Buchanan. He was a spy with the CIA's remote viewing program. He said a CIA analyst devised a backdoor way of accessing popular sites that break down users' family trees, and he was screening their DNA for a specific genetic variant linked to non-human beings. The source learned of this after being approached at a diner by 3 individuals claiming to be Nordics. These are tall, blue-eyed, blonde visitors from beyond that are said to be living covertly among us. Quote, they live in small towns in the Colorado Rockies, and they pass because they look like tall Scandinavian people.
Mike, how are the tax reviews coming along? You've not been doing that alien thing again, have you? It's not unthinkable that people could access these family tree websites to collect data. Talking of Nordics, this picture's been going viral everywhere, so I'll show it. I mean, I haven't read anything about this apart from seeing the picture, but that is exactly what people say Nordics look like. And yes, that photo is certainly fake, probably. But if you hear about Nordic aliens, that is what they're meant to look like.
Check this video out, y'all. Clear footage of a 12-foot Sasquatch.
Look at him right there. Look at that eyebrow ridge. You can see the nose. Just amazing. Look at that.
That's just my Aunt Betty going for an emergency toilet break.
Look at that eyebrow ridge.
What do you think? AI, man in monkey suit, actual Bigfoot? That whole situation seems way too calm for being that close to a Sasquatch.
64 million mosquitoes are set to be released across California and Florida. And you might be surprised to hear who is behind this. Google, of all companies, has applied for a permit to introduce a new population of mosquitoes into the wild in order to wipe out the disease-ridden population. Oh, the US about to have a mosquito civil war on their hands. Now, at first, this sounds absolutely insane, right? But Google thinks this is a good idea because these mosquitoes in particular have two secret weapons. The first being that they're all male, and fun fact, males don't bite humans, so they can't spread disease further. Secondly, these mosquitoes will carry a naturally occurring bacteria called Wolbachia, which essentially makes them sterile and unable to reproduce with the female. So the idea is that over time, the species responsible for spreading diseases like dengue fever, Zika virus, other West Nile viruses could be dramatically reduced without the need for toxic pesticides.
Why does that feel very sinister? I understand the aspect of trying to stop the spread of disease, but why does that feel very sinister?
Hey, get out of here!
To be fair, that was a pretty cool man cave. But yeah, shouldn't they fix those?
I hate you, internet.
I'm so sold, but I know that is probably someone using computer magic. It just looks so real, though. This is Vietnam in 2023. Let me know what you think.
This is crazy, but hospitals are now wiring their walls to listen to people all the time. It began pretty innocently with ambient scribes, which made perfect sense. Less pajama time, more eye contact with patients, less burnout. But now some systems like the Mayo Clinic are experimenting with keeping AI ambient listening on all the time. This is absolutely crazy when you think about it. The ethical concerns and the consent concerns have created all kinds of issues, apparently. Medicine wanted frictionless documentation, but what may be evolving here is ambient surveillance. So this isn't anything that anybody signed up for, but what you have to understand about the use of any new technology is it oftentimes gets extended in ways that we never originally intended.
Places where you shouldn't be spied on, toilet and hospital bed.
Toilet tech is the new frontier of health data, but would you put a camera on your bowl?
And we're back to square one.
Hey, you want to know something I bet you didn't know? This is the 12th junkyard in 6 weeks to mysteriously burn everything in it. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were about to take off all of the older vehicles that are on the roads and you didn't want anybody to find parts, how would you do that? If you were about to say, you know what, we don't want all these older vehicles on our roads anymore. We're going to put new mandates. We're going to make you buy cars with sensors. We're going to do all this stuff. But how do we stop people from continuing to keep their old car?
Well, you know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire, and burnt out car parts.
There's something going on in ancient China. That is a crystal sword with gold inlay. Yeah, there is actually quite a few of these things. Some of them are metal and crystal, some of them are just crystal, and they go for like $3,000 to $10,000 on the antiquities market. Okay, we're gonna need some context to fully grasp these things. These are from the Warring States period in ancient China. This is right after the first dynasty, which was right after these wild things, which we'll get to in a little bit. Either way, this is 2,500 years ago, when a time when pretty much all of China had beef with all of China. Out of all that fighting came some very cool technologies, like how to make crystal swords. Now, these things are mostly found in, you guessed it, burials, which is super interesting though. A couple years ago, crystal dagger was found in Spain that's 5,000 years old, also in a burial. King Tut's dagger.
You do wonder if there's some sort of advanced technology from a civilization that we haven't fully understood.
Found in a burial made out of a meteorite. So not just the Chinese, but that's not where the similarities end. Before the first dynasty, they've discovered these things, which are very similar to the Mayan masks. Then you got this really technical craftsmanship, almost like they learned it from someone. Then, out of nowhere, the Qing dynasty starts building pyramids. These are a little different than regular pyramids. They are earth mound pyramids, but they have this internal architecture to them, kind of similar to like a Hindu stepwell, but way weirder. There is a river of liquid mercury underneath the pyramid where the burial chamber is. Where else do we see a river of liquid mercury? Pyramid of Teotihuacan in Mexico. Yeah. Let's get this straight. The liquid metal that's used in high current arc rectifiers is underneath a pyramid.
Some of the stuff found seems so incredibly well engineered that our understanding of the past seems a bit flawed. Those crystal swords are incredibly beautiful. Not if one was being plunged into your chest, but you get what I mean. This has been the James Linker Experience. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.